Welcome back to the channel, Sparkles. Today, we're going to explore some of the most valuable Kennedy half-dollar coins in U.S. history. The top four halves that collectors and investors are hunting for right now. The Kennedy half dollar, first struck in 1964, was created as a tribute to President John F. Kennedy after his assassination. While millions were minted, certain rare silver issues, error coins, and unique condition pieces have become incredibly valuable on today's market. Money bag, from the 90% silver 1964 half dollars to the scarce 1970 D issue, and even some surprising modern error coins, these treasures stand out not only for their historical significance, but also for their investment value. Whether you're a coin enthusiast or just someone who appreciates the beauty and history of American currency, this video is for you. Backhand index pointing right, so let's get started with number one on our list. The 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half dollar with the D mint mark is not just a coin. It is a time capsule forged in silver, linking 2 centuries of American freedom. Born during the nation's bicentennial celebrations, this coin carries the dual date of 1776 and 1976, a reminder of America's birth and its 200-year journey of independence. To collectors, it is a treasure. To dreamers, it is a symbol of unimaginable possibility. When struck in silver, this half dollar transcends its face value, becoming a gateway to fortune, history, and the rare chance to touch greatness with your own hands. The Bicentennial was no ordinary year in U.S. coinage. Every American denomination from the quarter up carried special reverse designs commemorating the nation's spirit. For the Kennedy half dollar, the reverse bore a bold rendition of Independence Hall in Philadelphia, the place where freedom itself was signed into being. It was no accident that President John F. Kennedy's profile remained on the obverse. Kennedy represented a new age of hope, while Independence Hall represented the foundation of liberty. The union of the two made the coin a poetic celebration of past and future. What elevates the 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half dollar to legendary status is its composition. While most circulating coins of the time were copper-nickel clad, the U.S. Mint produced special 40% silver versions for collectors. These coins shimmer differently, carrying a weight and luster that ordinary coins cannot match. Their limited mintage and enduring appeal mean that even today, they stand apart as a class of their own. But the rarest of them, those in pristine condition or struck with unusual variations, can be worth a fortune beyond imagination. Nowhere is this truer than with the 1976 D silver issue, struck in Denver. This version connects directly to the western expansion of the United States, as the Denver Mint symbolized the growth of the nation beyond the original colonies. Every D on the coin ties the American frontier to the Bicentennial's grand remembrance of the Revolution. For collectors, owning a 1976 D silver Kennedy half dollar is like holding a piece of America's journey in your palm. Some examples of this coin are so perfect, so untouched, that they defy belief. In the world of numismatics, condition is everything. A flawless silver Kennedy half with sharp strikes and dazzling luster can command jaw-dropping prices at auction. There have been cases where a single silver bicentennial half has ignited bidding wars, with collectors desperate to claim a piece of history in its most immaculate form. Those who possess such coins discover firsthand how a mere half dollar can become a millionaire's treasure. The value is not just in silver or condition. Certain error coins, off-center strikes, double dies, or pieces struck with mirrored proof-like surfaces are the true marvels. These rarities are often unique, making them worth millions in today's market. Imagine stumbling upon such a coin in a forgotten coin jar or an old family collection. That small circle of silver, overlooked for decades, could carry the power to rewrite your destiny overnight. The emotional weight of the Bicentennial half dollar also amplifies its appeal. For millions of Americans in 1976, these coins represented pride, celebration, and remembrance. They were tucked away in scrapbooks, passed down to children, or locked away in safes as keepsakes of the nation's 200th birthday. Today, each one that resurfaces feels like a messenger from that historic year, whispering stories of fireworks, parades, and the unshakable spirit of American freedom. The portrait of Kennedy himself deepens the coin's mystique. More than a decade after his tragic death, Kennedy remained a figure of inspiration, embodying courage, leadership, and sacrifice. To see his face pair with the dual date 1776 to 1976 is to feel the weight of two legacies: the founding fathers who built America and the modern leader who renewed its vision. This blend of imagery makes the coin a miniature monument, worth far more than its stamped denomination. Collectors know that scarcity breeds value, but symbolism creates magic. The 1976 D Silver Kennedy Half Dollar is both scarce and magical. It represents a once-in-a-lifetime celebration, a precious metal treasure, and a piece of numismatic art. Its potential to sell for millions is not just speculation. It is a reflection of the fact that collectors will always pay dearly to own the most meaningful tokens of America's story. Beyond wealth, this coin symbolizes hope. For those who hold it, the idea that something so small could change a life overnight is intoxicating. It teaches that fortune hides in unexpected places, that what looks ordinary to one person may be extraordinary to another. The 1976 D Kennedy Half Dollar is proof that destiny can sit quietly in your palm until the world is ready to recognize its value. And this is why you should never underestimate this coin. Do not spend it at face value. Do not trade it lightly. It has the power to transform your life, to take you from ordinary to extraordinary in a single instant. The silver within it carries history. The mint mark ties it to the American frontier. The design unites liberty and leadership. Together, these forces make it not just a coin, but a key to fortune, to legacy, to eternity. In the end, the 1976 D Silver Kennedy Half Dollar is more than money. It is a masterpiece of history, silver, and symbolism. It is a reminder of where America has been and where it can go. For those lucky enough to hold one, it is a chance at greatness, a whisper of destiny, and perhaps the most valuable coin you will ever know. Guard it well, for within its shining face lies the power to change your fortune forever. Next up, the 1992 Kennedy Half Dollar with the Philadelphia P mint mark is one of those rare pieces of American coinage that radiates more than just metal value. It carries a legacy, a hidden treasure, and a potential to transform the life of anyone fortunate enough to possess it. At first glance, it may appear like just another half dollar, a coin many might pass by without a second thought. But in the hard collector's world, this coin holds an aura of mystery and unimaginable potential. When struck in silver, the 1992 Kennedy half becomes not just currency, but a bridge between the old traditions of American coin-making and the new era of numismatic treasures. The year 1992 was special for the Kennedy Half Dollar series. It marked the first year that the United States Mint issued Kennedy halves in silver for proof sets once again, after decades of relying mainly on clad compositions. This decision reawakened tradition of producing coins that gleam with the precious shimmer of silver, restoring a richness collectors had long yearned for. The Philadelphia Mint's P mark on certain issues signified not only the birthplace of American independence, but also the rebirth of silver in modern coinage. To those who understand history, the P mint mark is more than a letter. It is a seal of authenticity from the cradle of liberty. Silver has always been more than a metal. It is the element of fortune, long tied to wealth, trade, and status. In the 1992 Kennedy half, silver elevates a coin from ordinary to extraordinary. Its shine is deeper, its weight more commanding, and its presence undeniably noble. Collectors know that silver coins carry a permanence that clad coins cannot match. They stand the test of time, holding both their beauty and their value across centuries. The 1992 Silver Kennedy half, with its Philadelphia origins, thus stands as a shining star in the universe of modern coinage. But what makes this coin truly magnetic is not just the silver within it. It is a rarity of finding a flawless specimen. Coins that left the mint in brilliant condition, untouched by circulation, are the ones that can command staggering prices in today's market. A 1992 P Silver Kennedy Half Dollar, preserved in pristine condition, could ignite intense bidding wars at auctions, with passionate collectors willing to pay unimaginable sums for the chance to own numismatic perfection. These are the coins that have the power to turn an ordinary person into a millionaire overnight. Errors and variations add another layer of intrigue to the 1992 P Kennedy half. Some coins may have been struck with double dies, unusual finishes, or slight deviations that make them unique in the world. When rarity meets condition, the result is staggering value. Imagine a coin with just one tiny anomaly, invisible to the casual eye, but known to collectors as a one-of-a-kind piece. That small quirk transforms a half-dollar into a fortune, a coin worth millions. This is why the 1992 P. Silver Kennedy Half is so much more than change. It is destiny disguised in metal. The portrait of President John F. Kennedy himself only amplifies the emotional gravity of this coin. 3 decades after his assassination, his face remained a beacon of hope, courage, and leadership. To hold a 1992 Silver Kennedy Half Dollar is to feel the presence of a leader whose vision still inspires millions. Paired with a gleam of silver, the coin becomes almost a memorial medal, reminding collectors that greatness never fades. It is no wonder these coins command such deep respect and such high prices in the collector's world. History breathes through this coin. By 1992, the United States had experienced decades of change, wars, triumphs, innovations, and challenges. Yet through all that time, the Kennedy Half Dollar endured as a symbol of unity and resilience. When the Mint reintroduced silver into this coin, it wasn't just about metal content. It was about reaffirming America's tradition of greatness. For collectors, this coin represents both continuity and revival, and that duality makes it priceless. The Philadelphia connection makes the 1992 P. Silver Kennedy Half even more compelling. Philadelphia is the city where the nation was born, where the Declaration of Independence was signed, and where the Liberty Bell still tolls silently in memory. A coin minted there is not just a piece of money. It is a piece of America itself. The P on the 1992 Silver Half Dollar whispers of history, pride, and the unshakable spirit of freedom that defines the United States. What separates this coin from many others is its potential. While millions of half dollars exist, very few carry the combination of silver content, mint prestige, pristine condition, and numismatic importance that the 1992 P half dollar does. For the right collector, this coin is worth more than just thousands. It could reach into the millions, depending on rarity and preservation. Stories abound of coins once forgotten in drawers or tucked away in proof sets, later surfacing to astonish the world with their jaw-dropping auction prices. Owning such a coin is not just about money. It is about stewardship. The 1992 P. Silver Kennedy Half Dollar is a heritage piece, a responsibility, and a fortune all in one. Whoever possesses it must guard it wisely, for it is both fragile and powerful. To sell it cheaply would be to discard history. To treasure it is to honor the legacy it carries. The beauty of this coin is that it teaches a lesson: never underestimate the power of small things. What seems like an ordinary half dollar can be the very key to unimaginable wealth. This is why those who hold a 1992 P. Silver Kennedy Half should never let it go without understanding its true worth. It is a coin that can change lives, open doors, and create stories that will echo for generations. In the end, the 1992 P. Silver Kennedy Half Dollar is more than a coin. It is a symbol of revival, a treasure of silver, and a vessel of history. It has the power to transform fortunes overnight, to turn collectors into legends, and to remind the world that destiny can hide in the most unexpected of places. Guard it, cherish it, and recognize its greatness. For in your hands may lie not just a half dollar, but the fortune of a lifetime. Next up, the 1995 Kennedy Half Dollar with a Denver D mint mark carries with it far more than just a face value of 50 cents. It is a piece of American history, a continuation of a coin series born from tragedy, yet immortalized in silver and copper as a lasting tribute to a beloved president. To most, it may seem like a simple half dollar, but in the eyes of collectors and historians, it represents potential wealth, mystery, and an enduring story. The 1995 D Kennedy Half Dollar stands as a symbol of how even modern coins can hold unimaginable value when rarity, history, and condition align. The Kennedy Half Dollar series was first struck in 1964, just months after President John F. Kennedy's assassination, as a way to honor his memory. For decades, Americans cherished these coins, hoarding them as keepsakes and symbols of hope during an era marked by grief. By the time 1995 arrived, The Kennedy half dollar had already cemented its place in American hearts, yet the Denver Mint struck coins that would become especially intriguing to collectors. Some were standard circulation strikes in clad metal, but few rare silver issues tied to proof and special releases began stirring the imaginations of numismatists. The silver connection is where the magic truly lies. By the mid-1990s, the U.S. Mint had reintroduced silver versions of the Kennedy half dollar for collectors, harking back to the tradition of precious metal coinage. When silver found its way into certain 1995 half dollars, it elevated the coin beyond mere currency. Silver has always carried prestige. It gleams with permanence, holds intrinsic value, and has for centuries symbolized wealth and prosperity. To own a 1995 D half dollar in silver is to own a bridge between the old and the new, a modern coin with ancient allure. The Denver Mint, with its D mark, adds further significance. Denver was a workhorse of U.S. coinage in the 20th century, churning out millions of coins to meet the needs of a growing economy. But among those countless coins, a handful were destined to become treasures. The 1995 D Kennedy Half Dollar, especially in silver and in pristine condition, is one of those treasures. Its mint mark is not just a letter. It is a signature of the Rocky Mountains, a stamp of authenticity from one of the great coin-making institutions of the world. Condition is everything in numismatics. A 1995 D half dollar that has passed through countless hands may still hold interest, but one that has never touched circulation, shining as it did the day it was struck, can command staggering sums. Collectors prize such examples, especially those graded at the highest levels, because they represent the pinnacle of preservation. A flawless 1995 D Silver Kennedy Half Dollar, untouched by time, is the kind of piece that sparks bidding wars and makes headlines at auction. There is also the chant of errors and varieties, the quirks of the minting process that sometimes create coins unlike any other. A double die, a misstrike, or even subtle differences in finish can turn a 1995 D half dollar into a one-of-a-kind rarity. For collectors, such anomalies are irresistible. They are the difference between a coin worth modest sums and one worth millions. Imagine holding a coin that looks ordinary to the untrained eye, but is in fact a singular treasure known only to the most dedicated numismatists. The portrait of John F. Kennedy himself continues to deepen the meaning of the 1995 D half dollar. More than 30 years after his death, his image on the coin still stirred powerful emotions in the American public. Kennedy represented youth, energy, and vision, a future that was tragically cut short but immortalized in coinage. When struck in silver, the coin becomes more than a tribute. It becomes a shining monument to the man who inspired a generation. The mid-1990s were an era of change for America. The Cold War had ended, technology was accelerating, and the nation was entering a new millennium. Yet through all that change, the Kennedy half dollar endured, linking past the present. The 1995 D Silver issue embodies that continuity. It is a reminder that even in times of rapid transformation, tradition and history remain constant. That is part of what gives this coin such profound value. While millions of 1995 D Kennedy halves exist in circulation, the silver versions, and especially those preserved in exceptional condition, are the true hidden gems. Their numbers are small, their demand immense, and their potential value almost unimaginable. It is in these coins that collectors see opportunity, not just for profit, but for connection to history and heritage. A coin like this could easily become the centerpiece of collection, the kind of artifact that others envy and treasure. What makes this coin so fascinating is the possibility it carries. To stumble upon a 1995 D Silver Kennedy Half Dollar in brilliant condition is to stumble upon a fortune in disguise. It might be tucked away in an old proof set, resting in a forgotten drawer, or passed down in a family heirloom. Yet its true worth lies far beyond its face value. In the right hands, it could fetch millions, making its owner a millionaire overnight. That is the power of this coin. Owning such a coin is both a privilege and a responsibility. It is a privilege because it connects you to America's story, to Kennedy's legacy, and to the centuries-old tradition of silver coinage. But it is also a responsibility, for such a treasure must not be squandered. To sell it cheaply would be to give away history itself. To cherish it is to honor the greatness it represents and to safeguard its future. The 1995 D Kennedy Half Dollar in silver is not just money. It is art, history, and wealth combined. It has the power to change fortunes, to surprise the unsuspecting, and to remind us that even the smallest objects can carry unimaginable significance. Guard it, treasure it, and recognize its power, for in this single coin lies the possibility of both financial transformation and historical connection. It is a coin that can truly change your life overnight. Next up, the 1974 Kennedy Half Dollar with no mint mark is far more than just a 50-cent piece. It is a chapter in America's story, a relic of the mid-1970s, and for some collectors, a hidden treasure that could transform lives overnight. At first glance, most people would see nothing extraordinary in this coin. After all, millions were struck and placed into circulation, and many were spent casually in everyday transactions. Yet within its copper, nickel-clad layers lies a history tied to memory, mystery, and the enduring power of silver as a symbol of wealth. While the official mint composition in 1974 was not silver for circulation strikes, special varieties, errors, and preserved examples have created the belief that certain 1974 no-mint mark half dollars could be worth millions under the right conditions. The Kennedy half dollar itself was born out of national tragedy. After the shocking assassination of President John F. Kennedy in 1963, the U.S. Mint rushed to honor him with a coin that could be placed into circulation as a daily reminder of his legacy. By 1964, the Kennedy half dollar debuted in 90% silver, a bright, shining symbol of memory and hope. For the American people, it was not just money, it was a way of keeping Kennedy alive. By 1971, however, the mint stopped producing circulation half dollars in silver, switching to a copper, nickel-clad composition to preserve resources. By 1974, the no-mint mark coin struck at the Philadelphia Mint represented this new era of American coinage. Still, silver's aura lingered over the Kennedy series. Proof sets, collector issues, and occasional anomalies fueled the belief that some coins struck in the mid-1970s might hold silver or error blends within their cores. The 1974 no-mint mark Kennedy half dollar is one such coin that sparks curiosity. Numismatists have long debated whether transitional errors, misstrikes, or rare silver planchets could have made their way into the presses in Philadelphia. For collectors, the mere possibility of silver in a 1974 half dollar is electrifying. Because if such an error coin exists and is preserved in top condition, its value could soar into the millions. The lack of a mint mark itself adds a layer of intrigue. Unlike Denver's D or San Francisco's, the Philadelphia Mint traditionally left its coins without a mint mark, making no mint mark a characteristic of origin. But to the untrained eye, a missing mint mark can sometimes look like an error, adding to the mythos of certain coins. When tied to the Kennedy half dollar, already one of the most beloved American coins, this element fuels imagination. People search their collections, hoping to discover a 1974 no-mint mark silver-based error coin that could change their fortunes forever. Another aspect of value lies in condition. Most 1974 Kennedy half dollars were circulated, jangled in pockets, and worn down through decades of use. Finding one in pristine condition, brilliant, uncirculated, or even proof-like, create a rarity that collectors crave. The highest graded examples become symbols of perfection, worthy of placement in the most prestigious collections. For a coin from an era when half dollars no longer circulated widely, such preservation is rare, and rarity is what drives astronomical value. The cultural atmosphere of the mid-1970s also gives the 1974 Kennedy half dollar historical weight. America was experiencing political turmoil with the Watergate scandal, economic struggles, and shifting cultural tides. Yet through it all, the Kennedy half dollar continued to embody an idealized vision of hope and leadership, echoing Kennedy's eternal image. To hold a 1974 half dollar is to hold a relic of that moment in history, a coin that circulated while the nation grappled with change and uncertainty. Some collectors view these coins not only as monetary investments, but as historical artifacts. They connect the 1974 no-mint mark half dollar with a timeline that spans Kennedy's memory, America's mid-century struggles, and the evolution of U.S. coinage. In this way, the coin transcends its material value. It becomes a touchstone for memory, emotion, and legacy, factors that elevate its worth to levels beyond what ordinary coinage could command. Then there is the irresistible allure of error coins. Imagine a 1974 half dollar mistakenly struck on a leftover silver planchet from earlier production. Such a coin would instantly leap from being a common collectible to being a priceless rarity, the kind of piece that sparks bidding wars at major auctions. Error coins are like lightning in a bottle. They happen by accident, yet they define generations of numismatics. The possibility that one exists for the 1974 no-mint mark half dollar keeps collectors searching with passion and anticipation. Silver itself is timeless in value. For thousands of years, civilizations measured wealth, trade, and power in silver. Even though the 1974 half dollar was not officially struck in silver for circulation, its mythology ties it to this ancient heritage. Collectors are drawn to that connection. Because silver coins are not just money, they are symbols of endurance. To believe that a 1974 half dollar might hold silver within it is to believe in the possibility of uncovering a forgotten treasure with roots that stretch back to the earliest economies. The auction block has proven that coins like this can reach unimaginable heights. In perfect condition or with rare anomalies, half dollars in the Kennedy series have sold for sums that make headlines. A lucky discovery of a rare 1974 no-mint mark silver error coin could easily climb into millions. This is why collectors guard their coins, seek professional grading, and treasure them like heirlooms. A single coin can become the difference between modest means and generational wealth. For families, the 1974 Kennedy half dollar can also hold emotional value. Passed down from parents or grandparents, it becomes not just a financial asset, but a piece of family history. When combined with its numismatic potential, it transforms into both a sentimental keepsake and a possible key to fortune. That dual role gives it unmatched resonance in the world of collectibles. Ultimately, the 1974 no-mint mark Kennedy half dollar is a coin of possibility. It may appear ordinary, but within it lies a chance for extraordinary wealth and a deep connection to America's past. Whether through its historical weight, its potential silver connection, its condition, or its role as a symbol of Kennedy's enduring legacy, it is a coin that must never be undervalued. To spend it casually would be to let a fortune slip through your fingers. Guard it, treasure it, and recognize its power, for in this unassuming half dollar lies the potential to change your life overnight.